Welcome to another episode of Chat Sports Talk. You don't know, my name's Chad. Take a dive on sports. And welcome to the Super Bowl pick and preview video. That's right, we go over the two phenomenal teams that are doing battle out there in the desert. Will the Eagles continue to fly high, or will the Chiefs go on a warpath and claim a second Lombardi trophy? Kind of go into the ins and outs of these matchups and who I think probably has the advantage. And then you kind of make your own decision from there. But before diving all that, if you could go ahead and give me a thumbs up, especially like the content provider. It really pleases the YouTube guys, really help promote this channel out. You also subscribe, a lot of you guys review my work, and I love you all for doing that. Now, many of you subscribe, it's cost you a dime. It helps me provide more time value for you. Now, looking at this, these are the two number one teams in each conference. That hasn't happened in a while. Under Jalen Hurts, the Eagles only lost one game. He was out for two, and so that's how they got to 3 losses. The Chiefs do have 3 losses on their resume overall. And these teams are somewhat similar in terms of aspects. They both had dynamic quarterbacks in charge. Patrick Mahomes is the magician of the Priarie. I mean, he finds ways to make ridiculous passes, and these guys just find open space and make big gains. Jalen Hurts can get you 2 ways. He can get you with his arm, and he can get you with his legs. So it kind of really hampers defenses try to corral these dynamic quarterbacks and try to make these teams one-dimensional. Because they don't really have superstars in the backfield, but they have productive running backs. They each have a star receiver. Chiefs is Travis Kelce, the tight end, and you have A.J. Brown for the Eagles. Those are the 2 premier receivers for their respective teams. And the defenses, both of them have issues. So it's kind of hard to see who is going to come out on top. And if you look at all the other aspects of who's going to win, it's more in the lines of the Eagles winning this game, because they looked at how they have dominated teams pretty much throughout. Yeah, they had a few hiccups here and there. I mean, especially against the Colts. The Colts could have beat them, but the Chiefs had the same issue with the Texans. So the thing that you have to look at is, can the Chiefs establish a running game? The Eagles have been one of the worst defenses in terms of stopping the run. They can get to the quarterback. They just can't seem to stop the run, and which is kind of a weird aspect. That kind of thing about that. You have the most sacks of any defenses in the league, but yet you can't stop a run. And the Chiefs' offensive line can create the right blocking schemes that could allow for McKinnon and Pacquiao to break open. And possibly even Patrick Mahomes, scrambling here and there, just kind of keep the defense kind of honest. And if the Chiefs can establish a running attack, that should alleviate that front for the Eagles and not make them as disruptive as they will be. On the flip side, the Chiefs play a lot of zone defenses, and Jalen Hurts exploits those defenses. Because if you take away his receivers, he's going to run. He's going to have room to run. So it's just one of these things. I mean, with each quarterback, they have a weak point. They have an injury on their body that if they get hit just right, they're out of the game. Patrick Mahomes has that ankle on his right foot, and then Jalen Hurts' throwing shoulder. So both quarterbacks got to be kind of conscious when it comes to that one. It will make things kind of difficult for that in defenses. I think the Eagles' defense is by far the better unit. I have no question about that one. The Chiefs' offense is a lot better because Patrick Mahomes doesn't concentrate on one player. I mean, yeah, Travis Kelce does get the vast majority of it, but even if he's taken out of the equation, there's 5 other receivers that catch passes for Patrick Mahomes. And I look at this as I think this is like really close. This is going to be a very close game. I think both offenses will find opportunities where they're going to score, and then defenses shut down. Who do you trust more? Do you believe the Eagles and Jalen Hurts, who have created this phenomenal franchise in front of them? I mean, it is just ridiculous of what they have in front of them, and for a good amount of time. They could just continue to build upon this team. I mean, I think you got one of the best offensive lines, one of the best defensive lines out there. And then you have Patrick Mahomes. He just does things. I mean, you're still doing things. You're scratching your heads like, how in the world did this happen? And I think that is the X factor. Can Patrick Mahomes continue to ride? I mean, I think the Chiefs have been to 5 straight AFC Championship games. This is only their 3rd Super Bowl trip. I want to give the slight edge to Kansas City in this one, and I mean slight. It's one of these weird things that, it's. I think the Eagles are going to jump out early. They'll come up with a big lead, I think. I think they're going to be up like 20 points at halftime. It's going to look like a runaway. I do think the Chiefs should be able to come back and nip away at the lead, slow down the Eagles' offense. I think it's going to be much like that Bills-Chiefs game a couple years back in the divisional round where the Chiefs had 13 seconds left. They had to march down the field to tie it. I believe it's going to be something along those lines, probably by 30 seconds for the Chiefs to run down there and kick a game-winning field goal. I think that's what's going to be it. I think this is going to be a battle between Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, and whoever wins this, whichever team wins the Super Bowl, that quarterback will be the MVP. And since I am going with the Chiefs winning on a game winner by 1 point, I'll get the Super Bowl MVP to Patrick Mahomes. Get the Chiefs their 2nd Super Bowl in 4 years. The Chiefs have found themselves in a nice particular position. Do I think this is the last time these two teams will face off in the Super Bowl? Definitely not. I wouldn't be surprised if it'd be a repeat the following season. But I think that it's just going to be a miscue here and there. That's all it's going to be, a slight miscalculation. Who makes the fewest ones? I think Patrick Mahomes will make them early, but Jalen Hurts will make them towards the end. I think it's just going to be that close. It's going to be should be a well entertaining game between these two. I almost want to go with Philadelphia. I really do. This is how close I really think this game is going to be. I mean, looking at some of the names out there that's picking, who's going to win? It's like Graziano. He's with the Chiefs on a 3-pointer. I mean, it's Robert Griffin III has the Eagles by 4. I mean, Mel Kiper, the draft guru, has the Eagles by 4. Louis Riddick has the Chiefs by 6. I mean, they're like split right down the middle. I mean, more towards the Eagles than the Chiefs, so. And I get that. I mean, the Eagles just look phenomenal. They look like the elite team in the league this year. But they haven't faced a team like the Kansas City. Kansas City goes give them all the challenges they can have. And they'll be able to scheme better than what the Cowboys could. Better what I think the 49ers could. But the Eagles took out the 49ers quarterbacks, which changed the whole aspect for the 49ers offense. But I think that Kansas City will be able to make the second half adjustments that they need to give Patrick Mahomes the ability to find receivers, make plays, and that's all it is. You just start making plays. Take what the defenses give you, and I think the Eagles will give them some. I think the Chiefs' defense will be able to adjust in the second half as well. Start taking away some of the bigger plays that the Eagles will be able to do. Slow down their momentum. Now, I think it's going to be like a 31-30 type of game. I really think it's going to be that close. I think it's going to be in that type of scoring range where they're in the high 20s, low 30s. Like I said, really good. Still picking the Chiefs to come out in the last second to win this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles win this one either. I mean, I think this is one of these Super Bowls you're kind of going, who do you go with? Who can you trust? A bit more faith in Patrick Mahomes right now, just because he's won it. He's been there. Jalen Hurts, the only time he's had any sniff of a championship is with Alabama, and he choked. He's not the same quarterback as that game where he choked and Tua Tagovailoa took over and won the national championship for Alabama. He's not that same quarterback. He's matured immensely since that time. But that's what sticks in the back of my mind. Can Jalen overcome this? He won't choke in this game. He's going to just fall short. And it's going to just drive Jalen. I think the Eagles are going to win this Super Bowl within the next 5 years. I really do. This is how this team is structured right now, and I think they are due to dominate the NFC for a little bit. But I think the Chiefs' window's starting to close. Teams in the AFC are getting better. You have teams like Cincinnati. You have teams like Buffalo. Now you got to watch out for Denver with Sean Payton going in there. Maybe he'll start cleaning things up with that offense. The Chargers still look pretty good. The Ravens could be another team. Miami's on the rise. New England, you can't count them out. I mean, so the AFC is getting tighter and tighter. So the Chiefs' windows of winning more AFC titles, more trips to Super Bowl, more Super Bowls is closing. I think this is their year to collect that second one. Give Patrick Mahomes 2 rings. And Andy Reid his second win out of 4 trips. So remember he had that Super Bowl appearance with Philadelphia and fell short when he had McNabb. Well, we'll see how this one goes. Like I said, I'm still I am going with the Chiefs 31-30. Patrick Mahomes won an MVP. But I would not be surprised if the Eagles won with Jalen Hurts being the MVP. But my pick's the Chiefs. I'm sticking with it. Let me know down below what you think of this scenario. Do you think the Chiefs have a snowball chance in hell of stopping the juggernaut as the Eagles right now? I mean, the Eagles is a dominant team. I'm not doubting that whatsoever. For me, is who do you trust more? I trust more Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes than do Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. That's it. That's my reasoning behind it. Please let me know down below what you think. Who you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Like I said, it's going to be an entertaining game, and I really love to see this game play out. And we'll see you on the following Monday with my recap and kind of overview of the entire NFL for that year. Kind of highlight what I got right, what I got wrong, and I got a lot wrong. Let me know down below. Once you're down there, make sure you share this video with friends and family. It helps promote this video out. You also hit that thumbs up once again. Once you subscribe, make sure you click that bell and turn on your notifications so next time I post any more content on my channel. And I will see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.